Hello, and it is Trinity Tuesday, and welcome to the Trinity of I video series. My name is Cherie Hudson, and I have been delivering leadership and self-development classes, coaching experiences over a number of years in many different industries, whether they were healthcare, financial, banking, retail. And over the years, what I've noticed is that there were three qualities that kept rising to the top in regards to leadership. What I've also noticed is that leadership is not only in a professional setting, it is also in a personal setting. And we're all born with leadership capabilities and capacities throughout the years. How do we use that? And so I want to share with you all of the things that I've learned over the years through my presentations and the video series. So I want to get on my PowerPoint presentation. I'm really excited about this year, 2020, and we're going to really unpack many elements of Trinity of I and this video series. So in the previous, we really took a look at each one of those leadership qualities. And I'm going to talk about them. So let me just kind of get my PowerPoint on cue and on point so that we can move forward. So the video series was really pouring the foundation for all the practices that we're going to take a look at going forward. Truly a building block, and taking a look at the building blocks and examining them, giving you time in between each one of these video sessions to really look at and internalize and to actually apply some of the learnings, and giving you the opportunity to as well. So our first I in Trinity of I is inspiration. That is a very profound quality, leadership quality to have. And so looking at three behaviors that actually underpin inspiration really deals with adversity and transmuting adversity into blessings and lessons too as well. So also taking a look at possibilities. So in inspiration, when you have an inspirational leader, they are looking at solutions, what's possible, and really in infinite ways of dealing and working and walking through different challenges and adversities. So the next element or behavior of inspiration is that the people feel you, that they can resonate with you. They want to be in your foxhole. They want to be your foxhole buddy. They want to be alongside of you. They're excited about what you're doing. They're inspired by you. And people, we feel each other. We are not human doings. It's not our performance. What really inspires us is our stories. It comes from the heart and our experiences. So we really take a look at feeling you. So in regards to integrity, that is the second building block. We consider the first element, or the first, I should say, behavior is about congruency. Congruency has weight. We can feel when somebody is in integrity or when they are out of integrity. And it's so interesting because we can hear the words, but we know that what they're saying has not been the total truth. And so that's one element in regards to integrity, is to have a level of congruency. The other thing we take a look at in integrity and having a leader with great integrity is that they're considering other viewpoints. And what I mean by that is that they don't look at things in a siloed way. They really consider what all the elements are, what people are going through, what are their viewpoints, how are they seeing it from where they sit in the family, where they sit in the organization. And so considering other viewpoints is actually looking at everything through the eyes of the person that is outside of you. It's looking at their perspectives. And when you can understand and look through their eyes, you can get a really deep understanding of the individuals that you live with and you work with. So under integrity is vulnerability, opening yourself up. It is not an easy thing to do. Sometimes we feel that we take on the Superman or the Superwoman role, and that's where we should be. However, with integrity, we fall down. We have tragedies. People are born into our lives. People leave our lives. Friends walk away. People die from our lives. And so knowing that is like being open and honest and authentic with what's really going on. So vulnerability and putting yourself out there is truly, truly essential. We are all human. So the third thing is influence and outward focus. So a leader creates other leaders, and that's what this is about. It's being outwardly focused to what others want and desire in their lives and how you can support them in achieving that. And so when you're outward focused, you're like a servant leader. You are serving others in very essential and amazing ways. With influence is emotional intelligence. How do we use our emotions? Are we reacting from it, from an experience, or are we being responsible in our emotions? And also finding out why this emotion is coming up. And so the last behavior that we take a look at is continuous learning under influence, because we are all teachers and we're all students at the same time. And when I talk to some of my people that I mentor, I'm like, you teach me as well as you learn from me. It is definitely the beauty. It's almost like an infinity that we're learning from each other. And the more we continue to learn, the more we enhance who we are. Now what I've done in 2020, I'm actually taking each one of these I's, and we're going to now look at the trilogy of spiritual leadership. I'm really excited and just delighted to share this with you because it really opened my eyes. And as I've been off for the holidays and now coming back and looking at 2020, it's like, where can I take this? And so just been totally inspired to share this with you. It is our thoughts, words, and actions. Now, I know you've heard this before, but we're going to take it and align it to some practices that will actually blow your mind. It really will. It did when I started putting all of this together and just being inspired and having inspired thought and just moving and flowing with what was coming to me. I just felt that this is like 2020 is where it's going to be. So thoughts, words, and actions. What is great is that each one of these actually link back to the I. So thoughts, inspiration, that is like the internal self. And when I say thoughts, I'm not just saying it's coming from our head, it's coming from our head and our heart. Because when we attach these two together, when we unite them, and what comes out is absolutely phenomenal. So inspiration really is tagged into our thoughts. Now our words, integrity. This is where the linkage is. What am I saying? Is it real for me? Am I masking something? Am I hiding something? Am I not telling the whole truth? And so if those words, what are they laced with? And we'll take a look at each one of these, and I'm really excited. So the last one is actions, and of course it's our third I, which is influence. So now let's take a look at the biological components of our thoughts. I wanted to get into the physiology of it because I think it's really important, and the biology and the science of our thoughts, so that we can take a moment and really look at it. I want to define this though, because as I said, when I'm talking about thoughts, it is our head and our heart that has come into communion, and that it is coming from us. It's like an internal compass, an internal combustion that actually comes forward, and it impresses upon our world. So what are thoughts? We have so much technology right now and tools to actually take a look at where thoughts come from. And what's interesting is that they really haven't landed on that research yet, but they know that thoughts are there. It's almost like energy. Can it be created? Can it be destroyed? So our brains are tightly networked with these nerve cells, and these nerve cells are generating an electrical field that actually comes out from us. And if you've ever seen a electric power plant and all the humming that comes from there and the electrical fields and the forces that generate our electricity is absolutely astounding, because that's us. We are an electrical power plant with what is happening inside of us, our head as well as our heart. Thoughts are energy. And it is definitely, the rules are governed by quantum physics, quantum mechanics, I should say. They also say quantum physics as well. As a matter of fact, if you studied any of Deepak Chopra's stuff, he really ties that in. And so if we are wanting to actually change things that are going on in our life, the first thing is that we want to have this change. And we are actually going to take a look at the intent that we're going to set. What is that intent? What is my intention? And once we do that, we can then declare that our behaviors and our desires are now unified, they're now united, and then we let it go. We don't control it, we don't hold on to it, because that doesn't open up for what is truly possible. So we have a lot of technology that have really put us on the map in regards to our thoughts. And the research is actually very, very profound. I encourage you to go and look on the internet, because our thoughts are energy. What is on the inside of you? What is your internal compass? And what's the combustion that is actually coming forward from you into this world? Now, let's take another look. And we're going to take a look at this time at the practices that actually underpin thoughts. Well, one of the practices is nonviolence, nonviolent thoughts. And that means if you are calling yourself names, if you're calling other people names, if you are, hard on yourself, this is something you want to really examine, really take a look at, because it is self-destructive. It is actually creating your universe. And if you've read The Secret or looked at other types of writings on this, they actually talk about the practices that are so essential. And I'm going to start off, like I said, with nonviolence. Maybe throughout the day, write down every time that you say something negative about yourself, or maybe that you're thinking something negative. Maybe you're thinking something negative about your religion, your family members, or whatever it is. Write it down. Where did it come from? Why is it happening? But don't sit there and examine it so much that it starts to repeat over and over again. Just go, okay, crunch it up, throw it away, and say, let's move on into affirmations. And if you can find out, like, let's say if I have a negative thought about myself being not smart, right? And why did I do that? I'm not smart. Then my affirmation might be, I'm intelligent. I am a genius. I am, and then use these affirmations. You can use them in the morning. You can use them at night. You can actually tape record yourself saying these affirmations and then play it back throughout the day. What a great way to plant some seeds into your fertile mind and to grow these affirmations. So nonviolence. And we're going to actually get into this a little bit more, but I just wanted to give you sort of like a caveat, just a synopsis on each one of these, because we will definitely explore these. Purity. It's about cleansing. It is not showing up one day sitting on a lotus flower with your hands in Namaskar and saying, okay, I am pure. It is a process, and it is a cleansing process, just like when you take a shower. And we do this on a daily basis. And sometimes we actually need to go through the purity cleansing process throughout the day. The third thing that we're going to actually unpack is called self-study. Again, not about books. not about learning something from reading materials. This is a self examination of who you are, what your talents and gifts are. We're all born with them. How are you capitalizing on them? Or how are you moving them or shifting them and taking them to another level? So self-study, not about books. It's definitely about learning about you. The last practice under thoughts that we're going to really examine in each one of these, we're going to do a PowerPoint presentation on. So the last one is surrender. So surrender in regards to not giving up. And I did a video on this in the past, and you know that surrender has a bad rap, and you know people think it's about giving up, and it's about giving in. It's about allowing versus forcing. And we're going to really take a look at this because that, I think, to me, this is like one of my areas that I'm working on because I'm a very type A personality. I'm kind of forcing things. I'm like a freight train. And so how do I step back and really look at things from the balcony and surrender to it, giving into it, not giving up? That is not what the surrender is about at all. So we're going to really take a look at surrender and how we can use it and really build on our building blocks and our leadership capabilities and capacities. So next time that we meet, or next time you take a look at my video, the next one that we're going to do is actually going to focus on nonviolence. We're going to really dispel many different areas of nonviolence and what it means, what it doesn't mean, and how to take a look at it, how to apply it, what are some things that you can use, maybe some writings on it. So I'm going to really share all of that with you. So thank you for being with me today. This is Trinity of I. Inspiration, integrity, and influence. I really appreciated that you spent the time with me today, and I'm looking forward to our next session together that's going to deal with nonviolence. So with that, I just want to say have a great day, afternoon, week, and then we'll catch you up and talk about nonviolence in our next session together. So take care. See you then.